So I'm going to read you a little bit from a story. It's called For the Love of Fast Cars. And I'm going to skip through it because some of it is, it's necessary in a story, but it's not necessary for what we're doing. I first went to the salt flats of Bonneville, Utah in 1973. I drove there in a 1968 Chrysler loaded up with a 16 millimeter Airy, a Bronica, a porn star, and a pocket full of drugs. I'd been hired by Steed Oil to shoot movies of a car they were sponsoring, the sad Teagan Bentley Roadster. It was the year land speed racing legend Al Teague drove that Roadster 266 miles an hour, a record that would stand for almost 30 years. We didn't know how long the record would last at that time, though, and I was too busy keeping a jealous eye on my erstwhile playmate and shooting pictures to fully appreciate what was in front of me. But I've never forgotten the sound of that car as it pulled away, speeding down the course, the motor winding up as the sound faded across the miles. Years passed. I occasionally thought about my experience at Bonneville, not so much the girl, but the extremely flat, bright land that stretched on forever, the baking heat, the extraordinary cars, and the singular people. I thought more than once about going back, but I never got around to it. And then I tell a story about how I was kind of reintroduced to the idea and how I decided to go. The road from Salt Lake to Bonneville is a 100-mile straight line with a speed limit of 80 miles an hour. There isn't much humanity along the way, just a landscape that slowly transforms from urban clutter to eerily beautiful salt-crust desert. Each glimpse of white ground stoked my emotions as I drove and brought back old sensations. I began to remember how much I loved this. When I finally turned off at the Bonneville exit, I rejoiced. For the next few days, I would have the privilege of being part of a tribe gathered from across the world in pursuit of an idea that this week, someone might drive faster than any human being had ever done before, and we would all be there to witness it. How human, how utterly unimportant, and yet how important this is to what we are. I was filled with pride to be part of it. That's all I'm going to read, because now we can talk about, so that's why I went to Bonneville, was to see that again and to make these pictures.
And sort of a like chicken or egg question. You wrote this book.
Mm-hmm.
Do the photographs inspire the stories, or did you inadvertently make a library of illustrations of your memories that you get an idea for a story and you start seeing what you've got to...
You understand perfectly. Yeah, no, I wasn't making this story. I wasn't making the video that comes out of this. I was there to shoot stills. I was there to experience the land and the people, because people who build high-speed racing cars are extraordinary people, and they are my kin. They are. I mean, many of them right-wing, many of them, much different than that I'm assuming many of you are, but they are not bad people. And they are bound by the laws of physics, and every mistake they make is a really dangerous mistake. And they know that, and that conditions their lives. They're very cool.